can't believe this day is happening. My little sweet baby Rory is gonna be 6 months old in probably like 2 weeks, a little less than 2 weeks. So she's about a little over 5.5 months, and I've been really holding off starting her on solids. You can start babies anywhere from 4 to 6 months, they say, but 6 months is what's really recommended. So I've been waiting. I haven't really given her anything other than just she's exclusively breastfeeding. I just had some water boiling here. I put in 1 cup of butternut squash. That's what I'm going to start her with. I want her eating vegetables first. You know, some people say bananas or apples or, you know, something sweet so they'll like it, but I just want her to start with vegetables. So I'm gonna, as this is going, I'm gonna kind of go in about this. So I've done a lot of my own personal research. I'm not a doctor, you know, I don't have any, you know, real education on this. This is just what I'm doing with Rory. She's right behind me. And we're gonna see how it goes. We're gonna wing it. When babies show signs of being ready to eat food, they're pretty much able to sit up. They should be double their birth weight. They should, you know, be able to push themselves up on their hands if they're on their stomach. Like, these are all kind of little signs showing that their bodies are physically kind of ready to try. Every baby is different. I was like set on not doing any of this until she was 6 months old. But after reading about it and like seeing other moms doing this, I noticed that Rory is definitely ready for this. Like, she has been ready for this. Like, at dinner time, we'll be sitting down at the table eating, and she'll just be drooling and drooling, and she's so interested in looking at the foods we're eating, and she's showing so many little signs of being ready to explore food. So for the first, you know, the first time they ever eat, it's just for exploration. It's not necessarily for nutrients. It's more just for them to learn textures and to figure out what food is and how they, you know, move it from the front of their mouth to the back of their mouth. They're probably not going to eat any of the food you give them. Like, this is just totally for exploration. So don't go in expecting your baby to eat all the food. You don't even want to give them a lot of food at one time. So it's like, you know, I'm going to give her 1 teaspoon of food today. That's it. Just for her to explore. She's never had food before. Her digestive system is not prepared for that. I mean, you know, it's probably ready for her to start exploring, but she's not going to sit and eat a whole entire cup of food. You don't want that. So as this is going, I'm going to stir this up. You want these to be really soft. There's so many fruits or vegetables you could start them with. You could start them with on rice cereal or, you know, like a oatmeal. I didn't want to do that for her. I want her to try vegetables first. I also, in my opinion, think that if I were to give her fruit, she's always just going to want to eat the fruits, and she'll kind of really push the vegetables aside. There's no real scientific evidence showing that that can happen, but my instincts tell me that I just don't want that to happen at all. So I'm starting her with vegetables. No judgment. You know, this is just what I'm doing. I have a baby bullet, thanks to my lovely mom. She bought us this, so I've been seeing this in Rory's nursery for months. Every time I walk in there, I see this awesome box, like, just looking at me with these cute little cups. Like, I'm so excited for this day. So happy that this is happening. But, like, I can't believe she's 6 months old. So, we just finished boiling this. It's really soft and smooth. I have it in a strainer. I'm just gonna let it sit here. You wanna let this cool completely before we move any further. So we are gonna go eat and let this cool, and we'll come back and we'll show you how to make some butternut squash baby food. Rory is playing on her mat, so if you hear all her toys and her squeaking, that's what that is. She's fine. But before we get started, make sure your hands are really clean. You want your whole surface area to be really clean. Make sure you clean all your gadgets before you get started. A couple things to go over if you are using a baby bullet, which I love. They're so cute. Like, look at these little cups with the faces. Like, I can't get over it. I'm so excited. Okay, so what's awesome about the baby bullet is that it comes with these little portion containers, which also have a little face on it. And this is a dial. So you actually, it has the like 1 through 31 on it, I believe, of the calendar days. Because when you have fresh baby food in the refrigerator, you can only have it in there for 2 days. So that really helps keep track of the day you made it and put it in the fridge. And it also comes with one of these awesome little silicone trays that you can put portion size stuff and freeze it in the fridge. So hopefully I'll have extra butternut squash to put in the freezer, and I'll just do a tiny amount because I'm only doing like a tablespoon of food today. To play with. I don't expect her to eat all of that, but so that's how I'll freeze it, just kind of a little tiny bit to go through the week. And you also don't want to introduce more than one food in about 3 to 4 days, so that if they do have an allergic reaction to it, you know exactly what food caused it. So today we're starting with butternut squash. Again, make sure your steamed vegetable, it doesn't have to be butternut squash. Definitely look up stage 1, which is 4 to 6 months of eating solids, and the types of foods you can start with them. There's, you know, a bunch. There's like bananas and apples and prunes, and I believe there's squash and avocado and other kinds of fruits and vegetables you can use. I just chose butternut squash because it's what I had. And it does have a little bit of sweetness, so it's not like totally bitter, but it is vegetable. That's what I feel the need to start with. So we have our cold butternut squash here. You want to take your blender cup, and I'm going to grab a clean spoon. And I'm just going to spoon in the cup. The other thing you want to have on hand is some fresh breast milk or some fresh formula. You could probably even use a little bit of water, but it's probably best if you have some fresh breast milk or formula. You're going to add some of this into here. You want the consistency of this food to be runny. Like, you want it to run right off a spoon if you were to tilt your spoon. The reason for that is your baby's never eaten food before, so having like rough textures and skins and cores, like, you want it to just be the food. You don't want any like apple skins or any of that mixed in. You just want the fruit, the pure fruit or pure vegetable. So I'm going to add in, I don't know, I have about 2 ounces of breast milk here. I'm going to do just a tiny bit at first because butternut squash is so smushy, and I really boiled it down. Like, I made it like extra soft because I want it runny. So I just put in about a little less than 1 ounce, and I'm gonna put this on and blend this up. The thing that's really important about a baby bullet, if you have a baby bullet, is that it cannot go for 1 minute or longer straight because you can burn out the motor. It's just how it's designed. So intervals, and that way you can check the consistency as well. So I want this runny. I'm probably going to have to add more breast milk into here. Let me plug this in. Okay, that sound makes me know I need some more liquid. See how it's that's a little less than 1 ounce. So I'm going to open it back up and just keep adding more liquid. It's just like if you make a smoothie. You usually have to always add more liquid. Make sure you put that on tight. So I'm almost at 2 ounces of breast milk in here. Let's see. So it's definitely, I'll show you the consistency of this right now. It's definitely a puree, but that's too thick. So we're gonna add a little bit more liquid because we want it to run right off the spoon. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add the rest of this. It's a little less than 2 ounces of breast milk that I just put in here in 1 cup of butternut squash. All right, so it's all right. I think that's what we want. I think that's a good consistency. So let's see. It's looking much better. Okay, that runs right off the spoon. You could probably even go more if you wanted to make it really watery and runny, but I think this is good. I think I'm gonna go with this. Yeah, runs right off the spoon. Okay, so there you go. All right, so we have a couple different things I'm gonna do here. I want to have something for today, so my time right now, it's 11:30 in the morning, so I'm going to give her some of this to try at lunchtime today. So I have 2 of these little containers. These are like little portion containers. It actually comes with 6 of them. And it comes in this little tray, which is awesome. So you can put this in the fridge, and they just can sit right in there in the fridge, and you can have, you know, all your baby food is needed. But because I'm giving her such a small amount and it's her first day, I don't need to have 6 things of butternut squash in the fridge. So again, we're just doing like a tablespoon. So I'm literally, just because I'm being so particularly concise about how I'm doing this because I don't want to overdo it, I'm literally going to take a tablespoon and put it in here. This is going to be for today. It's a very small amount, not even half. It's an exact tablespoon. And that's what I'll try with her today because I don't want her to at all get more than that. So that way I know if she is playing with it and is swallowing some of it, it's never going to be more than the 1 tablespoon amount. So I'm going to put that in 2 containers. And so today and tomorrow or the next day, because this fresh food can only last 2 to 3 days, but I'm on the safe side, so I'll only keep it in the fridge for 2 days. So we'll use that today and tomorrow. And then in here, this is the tray it comes with a nice cover. I'm gonna portion out the rest of what is in this butternut squash to freeze so that the next couple days I can give her this. Frozen purees can last in the freezer for about 3 months. So really it can just stay in there for however long. But that way you can do batches of food. So this may seem like it's taking some time, and you definitely have to prepare your baby food. So it's nice to take a block of your day, a block of your time, and do a couple foods at once. Today is our first day starting baby food. So I'm only doing 1 food. In the future, I'm going to have, you know, much more fruits and vegetables prepared, so I can just take, you know, a chunk of time and blend all the purees and freeze them so that we'll just have them on hand. I'll be right back. Okay, this is really funny because of course I'm making this video and would really much prefer her being completely napping and dead asleep so that I can just do this all in one segment, but obviously that's not going to happen. This little one is teething and very clingy. So we're going to finish this up with her on my back. Okay, so we have our tablespoon still, and I'm going to go ahead and dump those in here. So at first you really just want to kind of do 1 food at a time, or at least that's what I'm doing. Eventually you'll get to a point where you can start making the textures a little less thin, and you can mix fruits and vegetables together. So this is actually going to make quite a few servings. I'm just looking at this and trying to plan ahead. I'm actually going to put 2 tablespoons in each of these because I can thaw them in the fridge when I'm ready to use them next, and have a little container I can use for a day or two. The thing you want to remember about this is when you have these portion containers like this is one meal for her. This is one time, 1 tablespoon, 1 sitting of her playing and eating this food. You don't want to reuse this. Like, once you put a spoon in the baby's mouth and you start using this in the food, you don't want to reuse this. So you'll throw out whatever remains. That's why I'm doing this in little portions, because you don't want to have this whole entire thing filled and then directly use her baby spoon and feed her, and then put this back in the fridge, because the bacteria from her mouth will now be in this food. So you don't want to do that. So personally, I'm doing tiny little ones. This is 1 sitting. I'll throw out the rest, put it in the sink, clean it. If you did happen to have like an actual jar of baby food, so say you're buying baby food, that's cool. You're going to have a big amount. It's going to be a whole entire jar of food. So instead of spoon feeding your baby directly from the jar, just get another little container you can put some in. How you doing back there? Or another little dish you can pour some in. Or, you know, if this was a store-bought jar of baby food, I would just take my tablespoon, scoop out the original mixture, and put it in a separate dish. That way, whatever you have remaining, you can just keep in the fridge, and you don't have to worry about any bacteria contamination. So I just want to review that I just did 1 cup of frozen butternut squash. It's organic. I bought it at the grocery store. I had it in my freezer. I used exactly 1 cup and boiled it down. So from 1 cup of butternut squash, I got 2 tablespoons. So 1 for today, 1 for tomorrow. And I also got 4 portions that I can put in the freezer. These are about 2 tablespoons in each, so that I'll have enough for a day or two when I thaw them out. Alright, so this can be frozen. We're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna try to get her down for another nap, and when she wakes up, we're gonna try this food with her. I am so excited. Just a couple tips that I read is you want to breastfeed your baby before you give them the food. And the reason for that is because you want to make sure they're actually, you know, they have food in their body. So this isn't replacing breast milk or baby formula by any means. It's just for exploration. So don't be so upset if your baby doesn't finish this. They're going to probably spit it out all over the place. And that's okay. It's just for play, really. They don't need nutritious solid foods for about the first year. So you're going to continue breastfeeding or bottle feeding or formula feeding while you're doing this. This is just for kind of like an activity. That's how I'm looking at it. So I'm going to go ahead and put these in the freezer. I'm going to put these in the fridge and try to get her down for a nap. And we're going to see how this is going to go. Are you excited? Where are you? We just recently started putting her in the backpack version of this. I think it's hilarious, and it's actually much easier for me because I can like have my hands right in front of me. But anyways, I will be videotaping her eating these first foods. I'm so excited. We'll be back in a little bit. Are you ready to try some food? See how she's so eager? Like, she's very interested in what's going on. She's sitting up by herself. She's sitting up good. If I follow, like, she can very well turn her head. Like, these are good signs that they're ready. She's teething, so she's drooling a lot. I have this little munchkin spoon. I think I got these probably off of Amazon or Target. And these awesome little bibs, they have catchers on them. This is probably gonna get messy. That's why we're in my kitchen. I normally don't eat in my kitchen or have her in here really, but much easier to clean in here than it is in there with a carpet. Are you ready to try this? So first I'm just going to do a tiny little bit and put it on her lips. Like she just went for it. What do you think? Wow. Do you want some more? That's not like... Wow, you're loving that. Butternut squash, eh? I'm actually very surprised. Like, she totally... Do you like it? Yeah? I probably should have started her on purees a little while ago. She seems like she's doing really well. I hope that video was informative. She loved it. I was so taken back by how much she ate. She actually ate that whole tablespoon worth of butternut squash. I was blown away. She did so good. Super excited. I'm so excited to wait a couple of days and introduce something else. If you have any questions, let me know. Like I said, I'm not an expert. It's just my journey with doing this. I feel like there's not enough information for new moms. So I'm just sharing my journey. I'm gonna probably give her a little bit more tonight. It's now, I'm filming this, it's 5:45, so we're gonna start getting dinner ready and doing our nighttime routine, and I think I'm gonna give her a little bit more because she did so well, and I maxed her out at 1 tablespoon, so I'll probably give her a couple more bites at dinner to kind of, you know, start associating sitting at the dinner table with eating food, and this is how she's gonna start building a relationship with food. So I'm so happy. I can't believe my little girl is 6 months old almost. It's mind-blowing. But let me know if you want to see more of these videos, if you want to do a fruits one or whatever. Just let me know. Make sure you leave a comment or subscribe or head over to Instagram, and so we can all connect, and you know, we gotta be together in this journey of motherhood. It's important. See you guys later.